Ladies and gentlemen, are we still gonna call whatever's going on between Ozie and Onyeka siblingship or prestigeship? Are we still gonna be pretending like we don't know that these two have got feelings for each other? Are we still gonna pretend like we're not seeing the chemistry between these two? Are we gonna pretend like we don't know that there's more to that friendship? Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the final part of the aftermath of the Saturday night party gist. All right, I want to at this point appreciate all of you for your dedication, for following the gist from the very first video. Thank you all so much for engaging with my content. And you're especially welcome to my channel. My name is Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Elijah, and I am the girl with the T. In case you're wondering, this is that video I promised to share the details of the conversation between Onyeka and Handy and Onyeka and Ozie. Yes, so make sure you watch to the end. Do not skip out on any part, and please give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying my content. Subscribe if you're yet to do so. All right, and without further ado, let's just get right into the details of this conversation. So first, beginning with Onyeka and Handy's conversation that happened in the closet area of the house. Now, if you all recall from my previous video, I had mentioned that the whole house was intoxicated. They were not drunk, but they were under the influence of alcohol. And so there was a lot of purgation of emotions, especially amongst the ladies, yes. And two people who really had a lot to purgate was Onyeka and Handy. As a matter of fact, at some point, it seemed like the alcohol in their system was really high. And so they were blabbing a lot. They were even saying things that they were not supposed to say, right? So they were blabbing a lot. And it was in that moment that they were both expressing their love and appreciation for each other, encouraging each other to not be scared that they will not go home come eviction night, that they shouldn't worry, they will still be in Big Brother's house. But if it happens that any of them is evicted, they will definitely meet outside, they will connect, they will do things together, they'll make money together, they'll hang out together, they will break bread, they'll be friends, and their bond will continue to live on forever and ever. Yes, forever promises were made. And yeah, aside all of those assurances that they were giving to each other, Onyeka started expressing sadness over her friendship with Wani. Yeah, now she was telling Handy that she really loves the two girls, you know, but Wani is making it more difficult for her to really love her as a friend because Wani disappointed her. Now, of course, I was quite curious about what Wani's offense was. And thankfully, Handy had asked and Onyeka had explained that apparently the day Wani had confided in her about her insecurities and about her fears and concerns about her relationship with Shawn, and, you know, just basically everything. Now, I'm not even really sure if it was a conversation they had in the garden like weeks ago, or if this was a fresh conversation they had, you know, stemming from the heated altercation that had transpired between the twin sisters and Shawn earlier this week. I'm not really sure. But Onyeka was saying that she had had a conversation with Wani. Wani had confided in her, and she had broken her friendship code, like literally gone out of the boundaries of her friendship with Shawn, you know, to advise Wani to ensure that she makes Shawn to earn whatever she's doing for him. Guys, it's literally the same thing we've been saying on the outside, that Wani keeps on giving and giving and giving to Shawn, whilst Shawn just relaxes and stays at the receiving end and does not invest anything at all to that relationship. So Onyeka's grievance is in the fact that as a female to another female, she was advising Wani, you know, to be on her guard, to not let herself go completely for this guy. She shouldn't allow this guy to work hard to earn all the things that she's been doing for him, because she's been doing a lot. and he's not really reciprocating the energy. Now, as I mentioned before, according to her, she is a girl's girl. She values female friendships over guys' friendship because she has equally had her own fair share of heartbreaks from previous relationships. And so she had noticed that the path on which Wani is threading is the same path of destruction that had led to her own heartbreak. And so she doesn't want the same thing for Wani. So she was advising Wani, despite the fact that Shawn is her very good friend in the house. But in the light of this thing, she was so disappointed that Wani took all what she said, twisted it, and went to go and tell Shawn that, oh, Onyeka said I should stop doing things for you. Ladies and gentlemen, even me, I was shocked. I'm like, okay, though I did not see that conversation, so I don't know who is lying or who is misconstruing who, but that just literally went from 0 to 100. How did allow this guy to work to earn the things you do for him, translate into, oh, Onyeka said I should stop doing things for you? I mean, guys, yeah, even if I did not see that conversation happen, yeah, and that is if it's not the first conversation, right? Even if I am not really sure of that conversation, listen, I totally believe Onyeka on this one because we've seen how Wani behaves every time she's around Shawn. Every time it involves Shawn, it's like her senses completely flies off her brains. It's like every sense of reasoning, dilutes her. And so she's like a walking empty can of emotions. Just very needy, wanting attention, wanting to be held, wanting to be touched. And the annoying part is she's the one that keeps on throwing herself at this guy. This guy does not, never validate all of these things that she feels. Hey, God. So Handy, as usual, was, trying to make a case for her sister, that, it cannot be so, that, that's not what she said now, that's not what she said. But Onyeka was like, no, that she and Shawn, they are friends, that Shawn came to tell her what Wani had said. My God. Have you heard of that song? Why do fools fall in love? That was exactly what was playing in my head when these people were having that conversation. Because in my head, I'm just like, nah, Wani is obviously a fool in love. Because this has gotten out of hand. That the guy that you are dying for is literally carrying your conversation to go and tell his female best friend. Hey. So ladies and gentlemen, Onyeka was really hurt. She was really hurt because automatically it made her look like a snitch to Shawn. Because she knows that Shawn is actually playing a game with Wani, and Shawn knows that he's playing a game with Wani. So as a girl's guy or as a guy's girl or whatever, Shawn probably was not expecting Onyeka to go and, advise Wani about anything or tell her anything. Just probably wanted Wani to continue to do whatever she's doing blindly. But then Wani messed up. So Handy was apologizing to Onyeka and just trying to explain Wani's situation. And according to her, in all their years together as sisters, she has never ever seen Wani in this state. That this is the first time ever in her life. Like she literally swore on her life. She said this is the first time in her life that she's seen Wani this completely stupidly in love and sold out to a guy. That she herself has tried several times to advise Wani to tread carefully, but Wani does not even listen. That's the thing that a lot of people don't even realize about their sisterhood and their bond is that it took them over 20-something years before they became friends. That as sisters, as twins, they used to fight every week. Week in, week out, there's an issue between both of them. That it was a decision they had to take to become friends. And it took them over 20-something years. Remember, this girl said that they're actually 27, I think. So imagine how many years it took for them to become best friends. And according to her, it is because Wani never listens. Guys. So she said this is the first time Wani is in this situation, being this hopelessly and madly in love with someone that no matter what the person does, she is completely blinded to the person's flaws, completely blinded to whatever the person does. And guess what? As we were having that conversation, the cameras took us straight to the lounge where Wani was with Shawn. She was on top of Shawn, like she was sitting on top of Shawn, and the way she was looking at Shawn, it was as if she was begging to be loved. She was looking at Shawn like she was completely gone. She was lost. And guess what? She was apologizing for God knows what. She was just apologizing. I'm like, girl, why are you apologizing? She was apologizing. And Shawn once again was like the king. He's not going to telling you. He's not going to telling you. Once again, he was making a case to explain why he is never wrong and why she's got a lot of excesses. And she was like, yeah, baby, I'm a handful. And she was like, well, I don't deal with handfuls. But, because I like you, that's why I'm just trying to accommodate your excesses. Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, listen, that sight looked like Wani was begging for love, affection, attention. In fact, the part that was so disgusting to watch was when she now laid her head on Shawn's chest. It was the way Shawn looked at her. It had this look of, like, I don't know if I should call it a look of disgust or a look of, oh my God, here she goes again. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. I cannot wait for this girl to leave this house. That was the look. It looked like she just wanted to carry Wani's head and fling her away from his sight. But then he probably had to recall himself and remind himself that, okay, this is a game. So, girl, chill. Guy, we have to play along. We have to play along. Anyways, thankfully, the camera rescued us from that sore sight and took us to other matters. Yes, and that was where Anita was misbehaving and causing chaos and causing drama. I already did a video about that. But now, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts about that? Let me know your thoughts about that, all right? As we move on quickly to Onyeka and Ozee'S conversation. Now, this special conversation happened in the kitchen. It was lengthy. And I'm not going to bore you with unnecessary details. I'm just going to go straight to the point. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, Ozee'S was purgating his emotions to Onyeka. Yup. Now, he was telling her, in fact, he was giving her assurance, basically, giving her very serious assurances, telling her that, Onyeka, you are my responsibility outside. You are my responsibility. Anything that brings you to Lagos, the highest you can go is us, the Mbadiwe twins. I've got you. Except, in fact, if you want to be at my level, you be at my level. But if you want to go advance, I've got you. Like he was giving this girl some serious assurances. And Onyeka was asking him, are you sure? Ozee, if I come to Lagos and I call you, you don't pick, I will hate you. I will not be happy with you. I will not be happy with you. He was giving her solid assurances. And then he asked her, do you love me? And she's just like, I care about you. She was like, no, it's not about you care about me. Do you love me? And she's like, I love you now. I say, hey! Okay. Okay. And that wasn't the end. That was not all. Guys, Ozie was telling Onyeka that the way he cares about her, like, I think his brother is like the person he cares about the most in the house, and then the next person is Onyeka. Like, this guy was giving Onyeka lyrics. Now, you know how Onyeka behaves. She'll be acting like she's busy, like she's not listening, she's not hearing what he's saying, and then. But ladies and gentlemen, you can tell that the tension between these two was high. And then even when they were done with their conversation in the kitchen, because Onyeka was making noodles for her and the Mbadiwe twins, right? So even when they were done with their conversation in the kitchen, they moved to the lounge where they were playing Ludo game. These people were there till, I think, almost about 4 a.m. in the morning. And Ozie kept on carrying Onyeka's hand, kissing the back of her palm, romancing her hand, the touches. And then they would laugh together. Like, guys, they were flirting heavily with each other. Like, it felt like Ozie wanted to enter Onyeka's skin. It felt like Ozie wanted to kiss Onyeka. That is if they've not kissed already. Me, I don't know. But guys, the chemistry was running really deep. And then it made me wonder, once again, that was Ozie being honest when he kept on mentioning last week that his madam is madam is madam is madam. His madam will be upset, his madam will be this, his madam will be that. That madam Ozie was referring to, is that person Ozie's girlfriend? Or is it an imaginary madam that Ozie just cooked up? Because at the moment, the way Ozie is invested in this thing with Onyeka, ladies and gentlemen, it's giving the same triangle situation. Because Ozie was upset with Victoria before the party that she was keeping her distance from him. Yes, Ozie was upset. And Victoria had to apologize, and then they are reconciled. And then during the party, Ozie spent like 90% of his time with Victoria, dancing and grinding and winding and almost kissing Victoria. Yes. And then after the party, it was Onyeka's turn. So for me, it was giving, this guy is trying to two-time, like he's trying to play this one, play this one, play this one. But then at the end of the night, he and Onyeka, they cuddled together to sleep. They slept in the same bed, they cuddled together to sleep. So it's making me wonder, like, okay, all these things this guy said last night, was he saying it under the influence of alcohol? Did he really mean them? Or is he back to his triangle status? Is he back to his player status? Is it all genuine? Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll give you guys more details if anything comes up during the day, all right, on another video. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.